I know what you're thinking. This is exactly what we need. Another middle-aged male talking about his favorite toys and video games from when he was 9 years old.
So you psyched to become a man?
I don't know.
Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. This is the Mort channel. This is my first swap meet video. I'm excited to tell you about that. Beautiful morning here at Golden West. Normally get here around 6 a.m. Rarely have luck this early in the morning. Hopefully it'll be some good stuff. Let's see. So I go over to the first booth that has a lot of stuff out. I've seen this vendor before. He has a lot of electronics. And sitting out on the booth is this guy. This Guitar Hero Aerosmith set. It's got both guitars in it, but no game. The thing is, I rarely see the big box that's got the two, sides to it and stuff. So cool find. The guitars by themselves are going for 30 to 40 bucks, but I don't see any in box. So I got to put this away because I do not want to carry it around all morning here at the swap meet because, that sucks. The next thing I find is I'm walking over to some tables and there's a black Nintendo Wii in the box. This thing is clean as can be. Vendor wants $100 for it. Listen, I'm gonna say something. It's gonna stir up some controversy. I want you to be ready for it. I think that the Nintendo Wii is the last truly collectible home console, software or otherwise. I think it's also the future NES. Maybe in another 5 or 10 years, that's the one that every kid and every family had. I think in the future it's gonna be the thing that everyone is looking for. So $100 for a complete one in the box in great condition was a good deal if you're looking for one for your own collection, but I passed on it.
Not quite my tempo. Here we go.
I'm walking around looking for more games that are out at this time. There's a stack of green DVD cases, which, as we know, means there's going to be original Xbox or Xbox 360 games or VeggieTales DVDs.
When you go a little loopy, better keep your nurse well paid.
I go over and I look through the stack and find this guy, Red Dead Revolver, which was the kind of precursor to the Red Dead Redemption series. It is Rockstar Games, and this one is complete. Always nice when you can find a complete Xbox game, especially one that's kind of fun.
How much for the lot?
Well,
there's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to hide. 'Cause here comes Yoshi.
This is the Yoshi brand new in box Super Mario toy from the figure collection by Corgi Classics Limited. It's from 2008. This is brand new, sealed, got it for 10 bucks, worth about 15 or 20. It seems pretty decently made. But while I was at the swap meet, I also found another booth where they were selling the Jakks Pacific toys. The Jakks Pacific ones, I generally stay away from. I bought some of those for my kids, for their play sets. They like the toys, they play with them, but when I look at them, I just think that they're really not very well made. They're just really cheap and not collector-y feeling and not really good toys either. Supposedly, Jakks Pacific is remnants of LJN video games. Do you remember when mustaches were super cool?
Sweet stash, man. Thanks, bro.
Maybe 10 years ago, it was kind of like if you had a Raleigh Fingers mustache and a craft beer, like you were hipster certified at that moment. Yes, I have an IPA. It's extra hoppy, so it sort of tastes like vomit that's carbonated. One of the best things about the swap meet is running into friends. I had the privilege of seeing my buddy Ricky. What'd you find this morning?
I found nothing but toys, dude.
For some reason, he's Hot Wheel Ricky now. How do you feel about the nickname Hot Wheel Ricky?
It's really catchy. I just wish I collected more Hot Wheels.
I don't know why.
All right. Well, thank you for appearing on my first video. I appreciate it.
Next thing I know, I see this vendor who I haven't really, I don't think ever seen at the swap meet before. and she has stacks of games out at her booth. And as soon as I go up to her and I say, how much are the games? She tells me what I don't want to hear, which is, oh, they're all different prices. Well, you know, there still might be some good stuff in this. I'm still going to dig around and dig through it. A lot of the games that I got were in pretty bad shape, and so I left a bunch of them behind, but I still picked up a pretty sizable lot of video games from her and wanted to see what different prices actually meant. You know, is this going to be like eBay plus 10%? Is this going to be GameCube games are one price, you know, PS3 is another? So I bring this stack of games to her, and here's ultimately what I grabbed. Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. It's complete with the map and the manual. London and All-Star Football. This one I think is a little harder to find, but doesn't necessarily mean it's more valuable. This one was everywhere during the PS3's life cycle for like $1. No one could get rid of it. And then suddenly it's spiked in price. Red Steel she had. This was brand new, factory sealed. Still one of the most common Wii games out there, but I don't see many sealed copies of it. And the seal is actually in great shape, even if the actual plastic is a little dirty. Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time, was playing through a little bit of it, and I remember when it came out, people were like, the controls, the fluidity, it's such a great game. This one's complete and in pretty good shape. The disc is a little worn, but it still plays great. I played it for about an hour. But actually, the controls aren't as good as I remember them being. Maybe I'm just playing it wrong. But like once he gets into an animation, you're sort of stuck. This is, out of this series, came Assassin's Creed, NFL Street 2 and NBA Street 2. The Street series are some of my favorite games from that generation of consoles as well. If you find this on GameCube, it can go for quite a bit. However, both of these games were way more scratched than I realized, and they don't work. This was the one I was most surprised to find still on the table. Sonic Adventure Battle 2, no manual. Disc is actually in pretty great overall shape. I never see GameCube stuff anymore, and there's 3 other GameCube games I picked up. Hulk, Hot Wheels, and Quidditch. For this stack o' games, I thought she was gonna say, you know, like $100 or $80 or something, which I would not have bought. But it was $50 for everything, which is a great deal. An awesome, solid pickup for $50 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games. You know, that's like less than $5 a game, so something like that. So she gave me a great deal. I was very thankful, and as soon as she said the price, I gave it to her. So someone says different prices, you don't know. You just gotta ask. You might have some of these in your collection waiting for you. We'll see. Found a few PS3 controllers on that day. The next booth, this woman had a random PS3 controller in a pile of junk. She wanted $10 for it. It was dirty, it was trashed. I've had poor luck with PS3 controllers in general. Love me some dollar games. No exception at this swap meet. Found Dave Mirra BMX for $1. It's complete. Also, Tony Hawk Disc Only Part 2 for $1. Although if you haven't played the remake, you should. It's fantastic. Also, Splashdown Rides Gone Wild. Really clean shape. This is sort of feels like it should have been on the EA big label. It's constantly throwing stuff at you. It's a deep and immersive track layouts that change constantly and a good trick system. Cool game, but when you know you pay $3 for 3 games, it's kind of hard to say no. So I'm middle-aged, man. This is what we do. You don't care about any of this. Why am I telling you this? So it's about time to leave. I've done a few laps around swap meet number 1, and as I'm walking through, I come upon this booth that's got, or table that's got a couple of consoles on it. One of them is this PS2 that is complete. It has all the cables. They're Sony brand cables. She wanted 40. I offered 30, and we met in the middle at 35. $40 for a console that's in good condition, particularly a PS2, really almost any console, I'm willing to take the risk on. Worst case scenario, I sell the console for parts. She said it was from a storage lot. We'll see what happens. Get home, plug it in, it powers on, plays great. So that ends swap meet number 1, and I'm feeling good. It's like a lot of good pickups at a swap meet. I'm going to go to swap meet number 2. I never do this. I don't usually go to both swap meets, but why not?
Whoa, looks like when they made this fella, they forgot to put in the quit.
I'm now here at swap meet number 2. I could find nothing. I also could find Little Samson. N64 stuff is always cool. Boxed NES stuff is always cool. But, you know, that's what all of us probably want right now. So, we'll see. First booth I went to. Indeed, stuff was left behind. These are near perfect PS3 controllers. 6-axis, DualShock 3s. Guy wanted $30 for both of them. I offered 20 and he took it. Found this Xbox game called And One Basketball. I hate it. Finally end up at my buddy's booth, and I'm gonna check out what he's got. Fortunately for me, he has great deals, as always. Here's a couple things I got at his booth. Godzilla on the GameCube. This usually goes for, a few bucks. This one's complete, however, it does appear as though Godzilla got a hold of the manual a little bit. It's pretty bent up. The disc is also scratched. However, tested, played a bunch of it. It works great. Paid $20. Really happy with that. Also found Pokemon Ranger Guardian signs on the DS there. Does have the manual and all the inserts in it. He wasn't budging on the price, $35, nor would I really, because Pokemon is always going to sell. It does appear to be authentic, the way that the cartridge is made. Plus, I don't know that people fake this one quite so much as they do silver and all that. Goes for, if I'm not mistaken, like around $50. But the price on the screen will tell you actually what it goes for. Watch out for those Nintendo 3DS RPGs. Some of these are really climbing in value. Fantasy Life is a late release 3DS game. This one has the manual, which not a lot of 3DS games came with manuals, especially towards the end. I paid $25 for it. He gave me a great deal on this game. He gave me a great deal on all my games. And then as I'm kind of wrapping things up, I grabbed a bunch of Game Boy games from him. Final Fantasy Tactics, $12. Monster Rancher Advance, $10. Disney Sports Basketball, boy, if this were only the GameCube version. And then Dragon Warrior 3, I didn't even know this was on Game Boy Color. Was thankful for all the great deals that I was given from his booth. And that was it. Day number 1 of my weekend was complete. What did you find on your day of game hunting? Please share your finds below and let me know, let us all know, let us be jealous of you and excited for you. But tune in, because on day 2, I find stuff. I find a lot of stuff. But before we end, it's time to get up close and personal. I'm gonna go to my other camera angle. This here is my find of the weekend, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Let's just take a minute and really look at it nice and close. No manual? Wow. Thanks for tuning in.